Sometimes it's the very people who no one imagines anything of who do the things that no one can imagine.
Humanity does this to us.
Not if we show them a better path.
Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Take a look, and you'll see into your imagination.
We have to have the ontological wonder towards the ground of meaning.
Relevance realization gives us intelligence, and intelligence is our capacity to solve problems, general problem solvers. But there's this class of problems, those that are high in novelty, complexity, and ill-definedness, that require recursive relevance realization that gives us perspectival knowing. And that is when we pass from intelligence to consciousness. And that is also different from self-consciousness, which is your consciousness of a self that possesses consciousness. And we only have evidence for there, I think we have very good tests. I teach a course on this. We have tests about whether or not certain animals have that kind of self-consciousness. And so, I'm pretty confident that, elephants and chimps and probably porpoises do, and maybe Caledonian crows. The test hasn't been done, but I bet they'll pass it. And we have really good evidence that lions and other animals that are otherwise quite intelligent don't have that. So intelligence is relevance realization. That's your capacity to be a general problem solver. Specific type of problems, high in novelty, high in complexity, high in ill-definedness, needs recursive relevance realization that gives you that perspectival knowing I was talking about. That's consciousness. And then there's an additional thing, which is a being that has a sense of self, self-consciousness. And so for me, that's how I would, and then you can ask, well, what's going on in self-consciousness above consciousness? And that's another question, and that's about the nature of the self. And I've done a lot of work on that, I'm happy to talk about that, but what I'm just saying, I think there's a principled way of distinguishing intelligence from consciousness and consciousness from self-consciousness. And then given those principles, we can ask about these different levels. Like I said, I'm willing to, and I get flack for it, by the way, with Jonathan's use of spirit for these things, and I think it's a good term, or angels or demons, and I get flack from, some of the people I'm talking about. I say, you should be really how dare you allow him? And I was like, what are you talking about? It's a discussion about whether or not this word applies. Well, that's not how people always use the word. Well, we used to think that motion was relative to the earth. And if you don't allow me to, that means that the earth can't possibly move, because motion means motion relative to the earth. So that's it. Copernicus is out. That's a stupid argument, right? We have to always be playing with the meaning of terms in order to try and match up to new realizations. I, in good faith, think that's what Jonathan is doing. That's how I defend him. So I'm willing, like I say, I don't have any problem with applying the word Geist, spirit. I use logos and other terms for that. But I do think there is a way, and you can disagree with me, and that'd be great. But what I mean is, I do think I have a principled answer to that question. How do I distinguish intelligence from consciousness from self-consciousness?
If you want to view paradise, simply look around and view it. Anything you want to do it. Want to change the world, there's nothing to it.
Hurry up, Violet! This way, Grandpa.